GreatGeeksRadio.com.
It's two great geeks changing the world, one post at a time.
All right, we're excited because we're still in high June, as you could tell.
As you could tell.
I am Sheriff Medaya. I got that one right.
You got that one right, Sheriff Medaya.
Otherwise known as Louis Matos. I am the Mustache. And as always, I'm here with my buddy,
Marshall Corona. Real name, Junior Figueroa, a.k.a. The Beard. Coming to you live from Western Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Yee-haw!
Get along, little doggies.
Get along, little doggies.
All right, so today we're doing our essential movies for the Cinephile, our C.A.M.P.Y number 11, our High June class of Westerns. So it's our 11th class, and it's going to be Westerns.
Western.
This whole month.
Western.
We're lagging a little far behind because of the fact that far behind because I've been a little sick. I got sick with the vaccine.
And the utilities are not cooperating.
Yes, they're not.
The utilities are not. The water and electricity and Wi-Fi are not cooperating with us.
Yeah. All right, so we welcome you all. This is our classic video library. When we do the C.A.M.P.Ys, we're inducting films into our classic video library. We're excited. We're enervated. We're enthralled. We're engaged. And our classic Archived Motion Picture Yearbook. That's what C.A.M.P.Y stands
We're
for.
enraptured.
Well, good. You came up with that one.
We're enraptured.
All right. And as usual, when we start our videos, we try to make sure that you understand that C.A.M.P.Y, we have our classic video library has criteria because we always have to, redefine so that everyone can see why we do things the way that we do.
That's right. There is a method to our madness.
Yes. So our first bit of criteria is that because it is the Mustache and the Beard's video library, then both the Mustache and the Beard have to agree.
Right. We are both on the same page.
And we have to love these movies.
Right.
All right. So part 2, you want to tell them a little bit about part 2? What are our 3 things, how we define a classic?
Part 2 is the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it has to be
Longevity.
I couldn't remember
That's
the
right,
word.
the time component.
The time component is it has to be 50 years. Okay, so the cutoff right now is 71, right? 1970. So it has to be before 1971. Now, not to say that things after 1971 are not good. They just haven't met the age criteria. We feel that we're calling something a classic. This expression of that, it's a new classic. No, it's not. Okay? A classic means that it stands the test of time.
This has to age like fine wine.
Cheese. So that's our second criteria. Our third criteria is exceptionalism.
Yeah, in some subjective way, which we will argue,
right?
It's exceptional. These movies.
That's the way we usually argue. The other criteria are usually not
arguable.
There's not any debate, but there has been debate over whether a particular movie may meet the other criteria, but is not exceptional. And exceptional doesn't mean that it has to be big budget. Doesn't mean big budget. Doesn't mean flashy. It doesn't mean you could have a small, intimate indie movie and it still be exceptional. Exceptional is just a je ne sais quoi quality that a movie has to have.
And we have to argue for that.
Yeah.
And lastly, it's our paradigm shift.
The paradigm shift.
It has to have affected movie making in some way.
Yeah.
And sometimes we stretch that because we want to include it into our library. So
sometimes you just can't be too technical. But That is probably the least of where we argue, where we debate.
Mm-hmm.
That criteria is probably the less where we debate. Because in effect, we are in favor of these movies.
Yes. All right, and as part of the things that we talk about, we will identify these movies by genre classification.
Yeah, that's another pet peeve of ours. Because the way Hollywood classifies some of these movies, well, basically, sucks.
Uh-huh. In every post, we argue classification. Those that we write, those that we talk about, we always talk about genre classification because of the fact that we disagree so wholeheartedly with most of what Hollywood has to say. Yeah. As always, all of our listings will be, for our campy videos, are announced in chronological order.
Right.
Not from best to worst or worst to best. It's just the way that we best want to get them through to a video for you is, oldest first and then boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Today it's our 11th class of all Westerns.
Yay!
And these are all recommendations.
Yay!
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
But we reserve the right to rate these movies anyway.
That's right.
That's what we do.
Because even though we're recommending it, doesn't necessarily mean we think it's perfect.
Yes.
Just maybe near perfect.
Yes. So 5 Grey Geeks is our scale, and so that's the highest. And then but none of these are going to be less than 3.5.
No, of course not. Of course not. We're recommending them.
All right, so without further ado, we'll get started with our...
Yay!
Number 35 is...
Number 35 is...
7 Samurai 1954.
And right now you're saying, I thought you said it was Western. Yes, the 7 Samurai.
All right.
You know why? Because it takes place in West Japan.
All right. 7 Samurai is a black and white samurai action epic, edited, co-written, and directed by Akira Kurosawa. Yes. The story takes place in 1586 during the Sengoku period towards the end of feudal Japan. The story revolves around a humble village of farmers that are periodically harassed by bandits, intent on stealing their crops.
And sometimes they're women.
In order to oppose the bandits, the farmers hire 7 ronin, which are masterless samurai, to fight the bandits. The film stars Toshiro Mifune, Takashi Shimura, and Keiko Tsushima, and a host of others that I can't pronounce their names. So
I admire what you just did.
But they're familiar faces for those of you that are familiar with Toho Studios' run of staple of writers.
You're familiar with Japanese cinema
of the early 1950s.
These are familiar faces.
Yes. The production company is Toho Studios, as I've said before, who also distributed it and a host of kaiju movies, Godzilla, Gamera, and etc.
That's right.
ある山間の小さな村に侍の墓が4つ並んだ。野心と巧妙に疲れた狂気の時代に全く明理を顧みず哀れな百姓たちのために戦った7人の侍の話。彼らは無名のまま風のように去った。しかし彼らの優しい心と勇ましい行為は今なお美しく語り伝えられている。彼らこそ侍だ。
our genre classification is samurai, and we're going to call this proto-westerns. So, samurai / proto-western, okay? So, proto as in prototype. And the longevity is 2021, take away 1954, is 67 years, so it fits.
It meets that criteria.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just to give you an opportunity to talk, how about you start with exceptional? I know you're going to take the time anyway, but...
Me talk?
Do you want me to go first? Go ahead.
No, I can do this. I can
Okay.
do this.
All right.
I can do this. Exceptional. This is an exceptional movie. No. The Seven Samurai, even within its genre, within its national origins, is an exceptional movie. Even among samurai movies, it's noted as being an exceptional movie. This is Kurosawa's masterpiece, and it's his epic, right? And it shows. It shows on the screen. It shows when you watch it. Now you're watching a black and white movie. I know some people have trouble with black and white movies. Get over it. Okay? It's a Japanese language film, so you're gonna have to read subtitles. That takes concentration. Okay? Get over it. Okay?
It's 3 hours long.
It's 3 hours long. Get over it. Okay? Get over it because it is worth the effort. The movie is that good and that important. And I really feel like if you cannot call yourself a
Cinephile.
cinephile. You cannot call yourself a
Cinephile.
cinephile.
Yeah.
Without having seen this movie. There are certain movies that you absolutely have to see.
Yeah, and you don't have to love this movie, but you definitely have to watch
You
it.
have to see it because it impacted movie making worldwide. Okay, that is exceptional. What do you think?
Yeah, innovative filmmaking. Kurosawa edited the movie as he went along, which never happens. Usually they do the whole movie, they film the entire movie, and then editing comes afterwards in post-production.
Right, they might look at rushes, but they don't actually do any editing.
No, Kurosawa actually edited every day. At the end of the day, after the shooting, he went back and cut the movie up at that time. So every shot is intended to be in the movie. Most shots include all the 7 together,
Yes,
which is
very good
another
at that.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the framing in these shots is perfect. He choreographed every single shot.
And yet, there are times when he goes for close-ups.
Yes, very few close-ups, but
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
And it is so important.
Mhm.
It is so. For example, something may have happened. Somebody may have said something or seen something, and he wants you to get
The
to see the reaction by the 7 samurai one at a time. See, now in American cinema, we're all about quick pace.
Uh-huh.
Quick pace. We film our movies, especially the action movies, like if they're commercials. Like this, like that, quick. So, in an American movie, you would focus on your face to see the reaction and assume that everybody knows that everybody else is
having a similar reaction.
We're just showing you one example. No. Not Kurosawa. He takes the time to show you the reaction by each individual character.
And that's jarring because of the fact that you're used to seeing them all on screen at one time, and then when he focuses on this guy, and the pan, and the pan, and it's just perfect.
Yes.
There are several plot devices that are combined in a different way. The Save the Cat, the Reluctant Hero, the Romantic Entanglement, they're all included in the movie that, you're thinking to yourself, wait, usually Save the Cat and a Romantic Entanglement, and that's it.
And that's it.
But here, he's crowding all these devices.
Because he has 7 characters.
Yes.
So each of them has their foible.
Yeah.
That each of them has their thing that they bring to not only to the team, but they bring to the story.
Uh-huh. Yes. So in particular, I'm going to mention the Save the Cat when the leader of the samurai, he's this is how we know they know to get him, because here Kanbei Ishimada, the leader, he shaves off his top knot, a symbol of honor, that he takes it off of his own head so that he can go pretend that he's going to be a monk to go save a little boy.
A little boy.
So
and we're talking about little boy.
So he cuts off the symbol of his honor just to go help. And so immediately that impacts the villagers.
And then spends the rest of the movie doing like this, like missing it.
Uh-huh.
How often does he do? Like he's missing it, you know, but it's not there anymore.
This movie is filled with things like that if you are not paying attention, you will miss. This movie is exceptional.
Yes.
That made the whole movie for me.
Yeah. And then Kurosawa style, okay? We don't see the action. He goes into the house, biff bang, crash, right? And the bad guy comes out slowly, right? Hurt, and he's standing there,
and then falls.
And then the kid comes out, and the hero comes out. We didn't get to see it.
And the whole town is like,
woo, yeah, you know, and we didn't get to see it. We didn't have to see it. It was better for us not to see it.
Yeah, just to see the after effects. All right, paradigm shift. You want to start?
Well, the number one paradigm shift in this is that this influenced, this changed samurai movies from that point on. Every samurai movie made from this point on was in some way either trying to emulate the Seven Samurai, or trying not to emulate the Seven Samurai, but in effect still being affected by this movie. So that's the paradigm shift. And then the effect that this movie had on the American Western, forget it. It caused a paradigm shift globally.
Yes, forerunner to the Magnificent Seven.
That's right.
The cinematography is awesome. I already talked about the block shots that are absolutely, set up with the action scenes. That he uses multiple cameras, which is not something that they used before, but here in this movie, multiple cameras that he intentionally has choreographed. Okay, we're going to go from this camera to that camera, and this is going to happen on screen, and that's blocked. It's just the amount of effort put into this movie is spectacular.
Amazing. It's amazing. And it comes across on the screen.
Yeah, so post-production was very little to do because he'd done it already during the movie. That's all I have for paradigm shift. You okay with that?
Yeah.
We'll move on? Yeah. Okay, so...
Oh, no, one other thing I might add is that, see, the Seven Samurai is a team movie, right? Team movies are difficult because you have the different archetypes, and you have to release the time to shine, and it's unlike the problems that you have in making a movie with a solo or even a buddy movie. Akira Kurosawa, in effect, gave cinema the blueprint for the team movie. So even if you're making a movie about a bunch of people, even if it's not following any similarity in plot or genre to the Seven Samurai, just that it's a bunch of characters, Kurosawa's movie had an influence on that. I would say that even something like Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs was influenced by Kurosawa simply because of the way that he handled multiple characters in a team setting. That's, I think, is huge.
Yeah, I agree. So, ratings and recommendation. Your rating. Recommendation, it's a recommendation.
I would give, not knowing any better, because I am not going to criticize the movie for being a Japanese movie. Okay, I recognize that the ethnicity of the movie makes a difference. So yes, the pacing may seem slow to me, but that is not because the director didn't know how to pace the movie. That is because the director is making a Japanese movie, and this is how they make movies. So I don't want to take away anything that is because of the ethnicity that is a foreign movie. Okay, I don't want to take. So examining it as a Japanese film, I wish I knew Japanese so that I could watch it without the subtitles, like a Japanese person would. But trying to examine it, trying to rate it as a Japanese movie, I don't know any better, so I'm going to give it 5 Grey Geeks, because I don't know. I could take away stuff as being an American and that it's not an American movie, but it's not an American movie.
Yeah.
And I feel that would be like taking points away because it's black and white. Come on.
Yeah, that's just what they had to work with.
So I don't know any better. So for me, it seems as if the movie is perfect. So therefore, I give it 5 Grey Geeks.
Yeah, I give it 5 Grey Geeks as well. Because I think the directing in this movie is perfect. I mean, this is as close to perfect as we've ever seen. The comic relief is very much like Crazy Cora, who steals the movie, right? Laura San Giacomo in Quigley Down Under that we just recently reviewed. Listen, this comic relief is also the heart of the movie.
Yes, yes.
This is the guy. This is the guy that rips at your heartstrings.
This is the guy that
empathizes with the farmers.
Yeah, and this is the guy that you empathize with.
Yeah, so I think this movie's perfect. Is there anything else you want to say before we induct it into the...
No, I'm with you. And I'm with you about this being a proto-Western.
Yes.
This, not only because it's the setup for Magnificent Seven, but also because, like I said, it has influenced movies, Westerns and other genres. It has influenced other movies.
Yeah, Westerns were made before this movie.
Absolutely.
But this absolutely changed the Western. It is with great pride and respect that we induct Seven Samurai 1954 as our movie number 35 into the Mustache and the Beard's Classic Video Library, Classic Archived Motion Picture Yearbook. Take a bow. Right along. Woo-hoo. Number 36 is The Guns of Fort Petticoat, 1957.
Yay!
Yeah, this is a good movie. Yeah. And it was your suggestion.
Yeah,
I'll give you credit.
I love Audie Murphy.
Okay, The Guns of Fort Petticoat is an American Western film produced by Harry Joe Brown and Audie Murphy for Brown Murphy Pictures, based on a 1955 short story called Petticoat Brigade by Chester William Harrison. It is directed by George Marshall, distributed by Columbia Pictures. The movie revolves around Lieutenant Frank Hewitt, who deserts his post to warn folks back home in Texas that Indian fighters have been stirred up by the Sand Creek Massacre. When he gets home, he finds only women. He trains them to fight and protect a mission fort very much like the Alamo.
The Alamo with women.
So it's starring Audie Murphy, Catherine Grant, who married Bing Crosby, Hope Emerson, who is the sergeant, and she's like a frontier wife, you know, like one that is like, psh, I know how to shoot, and she comes out with her rifle. It's like
I am tougher than any man. I'm taller too.
Alone on the frontier.
2 weeks ago, there was a massacre of Cheyennes at Sand Creek. My regiment did it. Now the Indians are on their way.
Outgunned and outnumbered.
I say we stay here, all of us. How many of you ladies know how to shoot?
And without any hope of rescue, Audie Murphy will lead these ladies against the odds and in the face of death.
Indians!
The Guns of Fort Petticoat.
Genre classification, this is a Western.
Yeah, definitely.
Longevity is 2021. Takeaway 1957 is 64 years. So it's more than 50 years. So it is definitely fits into our time component. All right. Now we move to exceptional.
Right.
The entire story device really revolves around having a town of women fighting against Indians. That's the whole object of this movie is to show that women can fight.
Yeah, the men aren't there because this is during the Civil War, so they're all fighting the Civil War. Now, Audie Murphy's character is a Union soldier from this town. So, from the townspeople's point of view, he's a traitor. But he deserted his post to go to warn them because they're going to be attacked by Indians. And then when he discovers that there's no men there, it's too late for the women to leave. So he's got to teach these women how to defend themselves. He's got to turn them into soldiers. And you're right, the whole thing about this movie is women can fight.
You want to continue with exception?
No. I was just trying to set it up for you.
All right. The writing is exceptional and innovative. And the fact that this is a 1950 movie where you're showing women can take care of themselves. The tone of the movie is serious, but there are a few moments in this movie that are fun. You know, this is a fun movie. Lieutenant Hewitt runs the fort like a commanding officer.
Yes.
He goes, you're my sergeant, you're my corporal. Bestowing rank on specific soldiers. Soldiers is what he calls them. Okay, private, go over there. That's what he does. There's a great HD copy on YouTube for free.
Yes.
So, yeah. So,
HD.
Yeah, Seven Samurai was available on HBO Max.
Right.
This movie is available on YouTube for free, and it's an HD copy, so it's gorgeous. All right, that's all I have for exceptional. What about you?
No, I agree with you. It's a fun movie. Okay? It is a serious movie, don't get me wrong. It's scary. And people die. You know, people get hurt.
Yeah, there are dark moments.
There are dark moments, and there are heartbreaking moments. It's not, it's not a cartoon, but it is a fun movie, and it is innovative and ahead of its time because it is showing women. It never denigrates women. It does not. In fact, quite the opposite. It shows that given the opportunity, women can and will rise to the occasion and they can take care of themselves. Which is actually a big thing to be saying in the 1950s.
Paradigm shift. The plot from Godless, the TV show, the Netflix series, is about a town full of women that are fighting against a bunch of bandits. So I think that this is used as a prototype for Godless. In fact, you were mentioning would-be rapists. They're fighting against would-be rapists. In fact, also in this movie, two of the actresses that were given main parts, they had to leave the set and quit because it was too much for them. It was too physically demanding. In fact, Hope Emerson's character, the sergeant, the original actress was Aline McMahon and Lucy Marlowe. They both are the original actresses, and they both dropped out for Hope Emerson and Patricia Livingston, respectively, because it was too hard. So yes, only some, it's not saying that all women can take up a gun and, have the courage to shoot people. I mean, and Indians that are invading them, which, in this case, there was a massacre to the Indians, so it's deserved. Yeah, so they're it's revenge. Now they're taking revenge on the wrong people, but it's revenge. So you can understand why the Indians are attacking. They're not just attacking because they're savages. So I think this movie has a paradigm shift where you have the women that are courageous and take up guns, and like I said, it is a prototype to something afterwards. And I think all these movies that followed that have the women being heroic, it is all as a consequence of this movie.
That's actually the pilot, the plot to the last Magnificent Seven sequel. Magnificent Seven Ride is a town of only women that are going to be overrun by bandits. So in this movie, Chris recruits six guys to come to the town to teach the women how to defend themselves. So basically, you're talking about the same plot as Fort Petticoat.
Mm-hmm. And it fits perfectly with the fact that we're talking about Seven Samurai and our follow-up movie. Was there anything else you wanted to say before we go into ratings?
No, there is a paradigm shift in this movie, with this movie.
All right, since you went first with the rating,
do it.
I'm gonna give this 4.5 Great Geeks, and this is the reason why. I love everything about this movie. I love the unit that he has developed, and he creates them, and he treats them like soldiers. He doesn't baby them. In fact, some of the women are like, do you know that we're women? So he doesn't baby them. The only problem I have with this movie at the end is during the court-martial. The women, his unit rides in. I'm not giving anything, it's not a spoiler, but they come in to an armed fort and take over the hearing. Yeah. I mean, with guns at gunpoint.
How did they get past the gate?
I don't understand that part. I love this movie. I mean, he suggested it. I watched it, and I was like, I love this movie. I would give it 5, except for that there at the end. I'm like, I gotta suspend a little bit of disbelief here.
I'm with you. I am with you all the way, and that bothered me too. Now, come on. Okay, I understand that they want to ride to his rescue. But the trial is taking place inside a building, inside a fort. How did they get through the gate?
With their rifles.
With their rifles. Yeah. How did they get through the gate? Now, if you had told me that this was taking place in a town, right? Mm-hmm. They were using a building in a town. The army had taken over the courthouse in a town. Okay. But how did they get through the gate? The sentries, nobody stopped them.
Yeah, and the way that they came in like a unit.
Kick the door down.
They came in like ready to fight.
Like Navy SEALs.
Yes. And listen, the sentiment is awesome. It's perfect.
Yes, it's
perfect. The fact that you came to rescue us. Listen, we're coming to rescue you. It's just, it fits. The thing is that it just smacks you in the face with, wait a second. They, all of the judges, they gave in really quick. They're like, okay, you can go. Okay, so this is a great movie. 4.5 Great Geeks is what I give. You said 4.5 great
Four and a
geeks.
half agree. And for the same reason is that one little thing. I wanted to forgive it.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to forgive it because it's such a great movie, and even that little piece there, the
It
sentiment
fits.
behind
Yeah,
it.
it
the sentiment
fits.
It fits. So really, I'm not taking. I don't think either one of us means anything disparaging by
Not
taking
at all.
away this
Half
one
a-
half
half a great geek.
Half a great geek. But yeah, 4.5 great geeks.
As always, it is with great pride and respect that we induct the Guns of Fort Petticoat 1957 as our movie number 36 into the Mustache and the Beard's Classic Video Library, Classic Archived Motion Picture Yearbook. Take a bow! The Guns of Fort Petticoat. Awesome movie.
The Petticoat Brigade.
Right, that's what it was originally going to be called.
The Petticoat Brigade.
All right. Moving right along to our final for this
Segment.
week, for this segment, is for this video, is movie number 37. 37 movies we got now. The Magnificent Seven, 1960.
The original
Yes.
and still the greatest. Yay!
All right, I was shocked that we hadn't inducted this one. We've
Yeah.
talked about it so much.
Well, it's my favorite Western.
All right, it is an American Western film directed by John Sturgis, starring Yul Brynner, Eli Wallach. I put him ahead of Steve McQueen, I know. James Coburn, Charles Bronson, Robert Vaughn, and others. It is an Old West remake of Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. It is, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
All right, and that's what it said that it's going to be. So,
And it makes no bones about it.
and not only that, Akira Kurosawa's name appears in the credits. All right? So it is intentional. A group of 7 gunfighters are hired to protect a small village in Mexico. Seems very familiar. From a group of bandits, that are led by Calvera.
Played by Eli Wallach.
Yes, by Eli Wallach. Very well done. The movie is produced by the Mirish Company and Alpha Productions, distributed by United Artists.
777, the Magnificent Seven. They were only 7, but they fought like 700 to bring the kind of justice that would last. 777, the Magnificent Seven. They made a brave stand, the Magnificent Seven. They fought for the future to wipe away their past. The Magnificent Seven. 777, the Magnificent Seven. They were only 7, but they fought like 700 to bring the kind of justice that would last. They made a brave stand, the Magnificent Seven. They fought for the future to wipe away their past. 777, the Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven.
All right, so genre classification is easy. It's a Western.
It's a Western.
And according to you, your favorite.
It's my favorite Western. I make no bones about it.
Longevity, 2021, take away 1960 is 61 years. It's greater than 50 years, so it is definitely fits in with our classic criteria. Let's talk about exceptional about this movie.
Okay.
It's your favorite one, so
Yeah,
you
that's
should
the
have
best.
a lot to say.
Okay. The music is incredible. And so incredible that we still have that theme, that Magnificent 17, playing in movies and TV shows and commercials to this day, 60 years later. Okay? The movie is amazing. The music is amazing. The acting, Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, Eli Wallach, horse buckles. These guys were hungry. They were
what?
They were hungry. They were Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger. They were out to make their mark. Steve McQueen was out to make his mark. So were the rest of the. This is an all-star cast before they were stars. Steve McQueen, Robert Vaughn, Charles Bronson, James Coburn. These guys all went on to be major stars in the 60s. They were hungry. And it shows in this movie. It shows that they were, they were like Rocky, they were out to hit a home run. It shows. Everything about the movie, the cinematography, the pacing, everything. The movie is exceptional from beginning to end. What do you think?
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to go on. The gathering of heroes. That is amazing. The gathering of characters is better in this movie than in Akira Kurosawa's, because each of the characters gets their own little movie. Entrance story.
Yeah,
their little prelude.
Yeah.
There's the gunfighter who lost his nerve, the kid who's trying to prove himself, the knife thrower, the broke gambler that needs cash, the old friend that thinks Chris is hiding a bigger payday. The story has heart, as evidenced with Charles Bronson's character when he finds out that the best food is coming to them.
Yeah, they mentioned about, wow, these people really eat good. And he said, you think so? You know what they've been eating?
Uh-huh. And the kids are eating, aren't eating. So he goes and he gives their food.
They go and they actually set up a line with the townspeople to give them their food.
Yes.
And they're working for the townspeople and they're giving them their food.
Yes. Yeah, so this movie...
That's a save the cat moment.
Yeah.
That's a save the cat moment.
But it is absolutely... It shows characterization of each character. That's the part where I think Kurosawa's is lacking.
Right.
It's 3 hours long, but it didn't have that little snippet of all these characters, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, I think that's brilliant. That's like genius.
And you're right. And the thing is that I think that's what's lacking in the sequels.
Yeah.
Okay. That they were in two, I find, except for Guns of the Magnificent Seven. But in the other sequels, I find that they were too rushed to get to the story and not taking enough time.
Characterization. To build character.
To introduce the characters.
All right, I know this one's really hard with paradigm shift.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me see. 4 sequels, right?
Uh-huh.
A remake, a TV show that lasted for 2 seasons, and a sci-fi movie that was based on this movie that was based on The Seven Samurai. Is that enough of a...
Right, despite being a remake of The Seventh Samurai, right, it became a franchise in itself.
You have the Return of the Magnificent Seven, the Guns of the Magnificent Seven, and the Magnificent Seven Rise.
Right, so there's the 3 sequels.
So the 3 sequels. Then
the remake.
Before that,
okay.
we had the TV series with Michael Biehn, right, as Chris. Michael Biehn, the guy from Sons of Anarchy, and Highlander.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh, the tall guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
The Beast.
Yes. Yeah, he's one of the 7. So is Dale Midkiff. Remember from
Yes, from
the movie we saw, the 87 Preacher movie we saw. He's one of the guys. It's really Anthony Stark from License to Kill. He's one of the 7 guys. So there was 2 seasons of that show. One of my favorite shows. Right? I thought it was great. And then recently they did a remake with Denzel Washington,
2016.
Yeah.
Not only that, it also is referred to in pop culture.
Yes.
There's a Cheers episode where the people in the bar are invited to come watch The Magnificent Seven. So I mean, pop culture referring to itself. I mean, it's great. Also, the A-Team is built on the first episode. Mm-hmm. The pilot is they have to come to a town to save the people
to rescue
from bandits.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is absolutely a prototype.
Yes.
This is one of those movies that, that's why we included Seven Samurai and then Magnificent Seven, because of the fact that, yes, they all fit together. And the Fort Petticoat also goes in.
The movie Battle Beyond the Stars?
Yes, that's it.
Is based on
it's a sci-fi Magnificent Seven.
Up to and including, they got Robert Vaughn to appear as one of the guys.
Yeah, and James Coburn was going to be Hannibal, the leader of the A-Team, and he said, no, I don't do that anymore. And I wish they would have gotten that on film, because that would have been great that they have a character, can you join us? We're trying to develop 7 of us. No, I don't do that anymore. That would have been great. All right, so ratings and recommendations. Obviously, this is a huge recommendation. It's my favorite. Okay, so I think I'm going to go first because you might rate it a little higher than me.
Okay.
Because I'm taking off a half a grade deep.
For what?
And I'll tell you why. The ending, 4 of the 7 died. I'm not telling you which ones, but 4 of them died. And I wish it would have been 3 that died, because the one that is the heart of the movie, he dies. I'm not going to say. Don't say who it is, but I think you know who it is. Yes.
No,
I think
yeah, you're right.
wrenches everybody's heart.
Yes.
So I only take that away. Now, mind you,
major sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Major sacrificial.
Yes. So that's my only little pet peeve. But the fact that they took the guy that you feel the most for, I think it was smart. That's the person that you want to wrench away from us. It's the character that he's going to get married, so that's the dead duck. That's the second.
Either you kill the guy that's getting married, or you kill the bride. And that leaves you there. Oh my God!
So that's my only pet peeve. So you.
Yeah, I'm giving it 5 grade geeks. I mean, it's my favorite Western. But I agree with you about your point. That is heart-wrenching. It is heart-wrenching. And the thing is that I just finished watching one of the sequels, Guns of the Magnificent Seven, right? And there's 2 that die at the end of that movie that are just like this.
Oh, sacrificial, really
2,
major sacrificial lambs.
Again, 4 of them died.
That's overkill.
That's 4 of them died. 2 of them, I didn't want to die. I was like, oh my God, he died, and then oh my God, he died. So I understand completely what you're talking about. I feel the same way. But it is my favorite Western. I have seen this movie, no lie. I have seen this movie more than 24 times. I have seen this movie more than 24 times. I can recite the dialogue to him. And you know what? I will probably go home tonight and watch it again.
All right. So yes, it is with great pride and respect that we induct The Magnificent Seven 1960 as our movie number 37 into the Mustache and the Beard's Classic Video Library, Classic Archived Motion Picture Yearbook. Take a bow. Wanted to give you a little extra. That is your favorite. All right. We've come to the part of the program where we have set aside our notebooks or gotten past that part, and now we've come to the end of the program. And before we always say goodbye, I always ask you for a wise missive.
Yes. And I have one.
I'm sure you do.
but I'm getting on in years.
So you actually need to read it.
I have to need to read it. I have to put on my glasses in order to read it. Yes.
Yes, our memories are not like they used to be.
I used to be so sharp, and now like I'm a dull knife.
Yeah, that's why I have to write so many notes.
Sorry. I came across this. This is a Tibetan proverb, and I really, really like it. And so I wanted to share it with you and to share it with our followers because I love you. I love you. And it says, the secret to living well and living longer is this. 1, eat half. 2, walk double. 3, laugh triple. And 4, love without measure.
With that having been said, if you have enjoyed this video that we have done, I always ask you to please subscribe if you have not done so. If you have subscribed and you like this video, push the like button so that we can know.
Yeah.
And I always like, if you want to leave a comment, please do so. We always welcome comments.
Suggestions?
Yes.
Questions?
Understanding that this month is all Westerns all the time.
Hi, June.
Yes. So we always thank you for watching. My name is Louis Matos. I am the Mustache. And for this month, I am Sheriff Medalla. It's time for that last round up, buddy boy.
See you later from Marshall Corona, Junior Figueroa, the beard.
Say see you later.
Hasta la vista.
Take it easy.
Peace.